it's Faith here. It's time to get smart and sassy because today is pretzel day. I'm really excited. Right now, let's just start by making our basic pretzel recipe. I found this on allrecipes.com. I'll put a link in the description below so you can go check it out for yourself. I'm doing a double batch, and that's why there is so much flour right here. Do not be alarmed. One batch will not take this much flour. So let's get started. Our ingredients today are 8 cups of flour. That's 2 cups bread flour, 6 cups all-purpose flour. And we have our 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 4 tablespoons brown sugar, and in these 3 cups of warm water, 2 packets of yeast have dissolved, and you want to have it all foamy before you really stir it. Now, I'm just using a fork, and we're going to add in our brown sugar, a little messy, and our salt. And we need these to dissolve in there also. So just stir that. If your water's not warm, it'll take ages. But since ours is, it shouldn't take that long. So just dissolve that and then we'll get to mix it more. So our yeast water thing, all the stuff in it is dissolved. You take your, a spoon, and if you don't see anything like little particles, it should be all good. I've just transferred our flour into this large mixing bowl. Use whatever you've got. Just make sure it's big because it will rise to double its size. So we're just going to add this in to our flour. Make sure you get everything. There is a little bit of extra brown stuff like the brown sugar. Yeah, it's okay if it's not all dissolved. It'll dissolve while you're mixing it and whatnot. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to mix it all together. And when it's sort of solid, we're going to knead it. Alrighty, everybody. The wooden spoon only goes so far. You have to use your hands to get in here. I've just got it sort of together. But right now, we're going to put it on the counter, lightly flour your counter. You should probably know how to do that. Just take a pinch of flour, just put it all over your counter. Not hard. Okay, so just do that, and then we are gonna tip. If it's a little dry, it's okay, -2. If it's a little wet, add a little bit more flour. Now we're gonna need to knead this. Catch the pun, yes. And so just so it's all combined and yummy and stuff. Same moisture level all the way through. Don't worry about your hands getting all messy. It happens. It doesn't really matter. There's no egg or anything if you're afraid of that. I understand that. I don't like touching raw egg or meat or anything. So basically, just play with the dough for maybe 5-8 minutes, somewhere around there until it's all nice and smooth and stuff, and then we'll go from there. So you're just kneading it and kneading it, and it might be a little sticky. Just add more flour to your surface. And I have not added anything extra to this dough, and it's turning out amazing. When you push it, it sort of rises back up a little bit. It's really cool. So your large bowl, mine has been washed again because you don't want all the stuff in there, because we need to lightly coat it in oil. I'm using Pam, of course, and so that way it doesn't stick to the bowl, because that would be a big mess. I'm not very good at pamming, to be honest with you. It's not my stronghold. Stronghold? You know what I mean. And I like to use a paper towel to just get it completely around. Just a little bit of a safety precaution. If you didn't get it in one place, then you want it to have stuff on it. And don't spray it more, So it's pretty much good. I did it for like 6 minutes, but I did need it in the bowl a little bit, so that could make all the difference in the world for your dough. It really depends on the day, like what the yeast feels like doing, stuff like that. And you just play with it. It's so much fun. One of my favorite parts of the process. Okay, so just put it, your big giant dough ball, in your bowl. Like roll it around so it gets like the oil on it, and then we're just gonna cover it in like cling wrap and leave that for about an hour until it doubles in size, and then we can work with it and shape it and stuff, and then pretzel day continues. All right, see you in an hour. The hour is up, and it's time to start making the form of our pretzels. What I did to help mine rise is, well, I covered it loosely in cling wrap, of course, but then I turned on the oven to warm. Some ovens might not have that setting, but I think most do. It's just 170 degrees, like on mine at least. And once it's preheated, you turn the oven off, and then you put this bad boy in the oven. I just took it out, and look at that. That's big and doubled in size. Now, you probably see this baking soda. The color probably stands out. And then I've got 2 cups of warm water here. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in this pie plate, and we're going to like dip the pretzels in it. It helps get that golden brown on the outside, and it'll help them look pretty. But before we do that, we need to form a pretzel. But let's go ahead and get this started anyways. So it's 2 tablespoons of this baking soda. Alright. So now we just add this. Careful. You don't want to like spill it all over the place. Okay. So just sort of mix it together. I'm just using the tablespoon because it really doesn't matter. Just get it like the baking soda all the way through. And like some will probably stick to the bottom, most likely. But that's okay. So just set this aside, and then we can get to forming our pretzels. I'll show you how. I just dumped out the pretzel dough. It's pretty sticky. It's stuck to my hands, so I'm just going to rub it in some flour and put some flour on my hands so that way it doesn't stick, and then we can work with it a little easier. I know I'm going to be making a dozen pretzels because 6 of those are going to be cinnamon sugar ones. They're going to be really yummy. And then the other 6 are going to be just normal butter and salt. They're both going to be great in their own unique ways. And with the normal ones, we have some Cheez-Whiz here today, and we're going to melt some of that. And because a lot of people like their Cheez-Whiz with their pretzels. Okay, and then the other half of the dough, we're going to be making these like pretzel hot dogs. I think they have them at Auntie Anne's, but we're going to make our own because we're cool like that, right? Smart and sassy, yay! Okay, so just like rip this in half carefully and put it back in the bowl. Flour it up. Okay. Alright. Let's put this half in the bowl. Alright. And we'll just put that over there till later. So we've got this nice ball of dough, right? And it's going to become pretzels. But first, we need to make them into 12 different pieces. Everyone here knows that a dozen is 12, right? Because it is. So, oh man, there was some water over here, got it all wet. But that's okay. The good cook improvises a lot. So, it's all good. It was just from the water and baking soda. Alright, so just, it seems to just eat up the flour. Sort of creepy. Alright, so just take like a little bit. You can like, what's the word? Rearrange it later. But right now, from experience, I do believe that like a 12th of this is about this size. But we'll see, okay? Just make 12 equal pieces for your pretzels. Now we have cute little pretzel balls. I had to take a little bit of my reserve dough to get them all about this size. But maybe you're more talented than I am. I probably know what you're thinking right now. You're like, Faith, these do not look like pretzels. Well, you're right. You are right, random viewer. You are right. We have to make them into ropes before we can even shape them. So just go like this. Just try not to break it because sometimes it can be hard to fix. And make them into ropes so we can form them. They won't be super long if you want them to be thick, which I do. I made these like 3 times, and like the recipe says pencil thin, but I don't really do that, honestly. It tastes delicious still. So just work on it until you get 12 ropes. Okay, so now that you've got your ropes, they should be like roughly this long. They don't have to be perfect. You can sort of shape it a little bit more when you're forming it. Now, a lot of people don't know how to form a proper pretzel. So, I'm going to show you. At Auntie Anne's, they do this cool twisty, turny thing, like if you watch them. But I don't know how to do that, but this way looks fine, tastes good. All that really matters, you know? So, you're going to take one of your ropes. You're going to go like this. Then you're going to go like that. So this part, the bottom part, is going to be like the main part of the pretzel. In this part, you're going to twist around and bring down. So it looks like a pretzel. I know it might be a little hard. Here, I'll show it to you. It is a little hard when you first start, but then you get it. See? So then once you've got this, you need to dip it in the sort of baking soda water so it can get brown on the outside. And so it looks pretty and whatnot. So go ahead and dip it on one side. And it will probably, if you're using a pie plate, it's probably not going to go all the way under because I make mine thick. I do. I will admit to that. So you're going to flip it over. You see? Now you're going to take it out of the water and transfer it to your baking sheet with parchment paper on it. And you're just going to do this to the rest of your ropes until you've got a dozen pretzels. Good luck. Once you've formed all of your pretzels, leave them in a place to rise for 15 minutes. We just took all of the air out of them, but we want them to be nice and fluffy when we bite into them. Now we're going to use this dough for our pretzel hot dogs. So we're just going to make 8 ropes this time because there's 8 hot dogs in a pack. Or I suppose you could get the 12 pack, but I have the 8 pack. So I'm only making 8 ropes. What kind of hot dogs do you guys like? Put in the comments below. I I'd really like to know, actually. I prefer all beef, but if I don't get that, that's fine. Whatever, as long as it tastes good, really. So, just knead your dough a little bit because it wants to be played with. And then you need to make those 8 ropes. Okay, so we've got our 8 ropes. I've already made one. It's super cute. Look, it's like a more sophisticated kind of pig in a blanket. Super cute. The oven is still preheating, but as soon as it beeps, I'm gonna put my pretzels in. But right now, I'm gonna show you how to make this. Get a hot dog. I sort of a little bit unwetted it, dried it, that's right. And because the pretzel has to stick to it. So I just put it on one end and I started sort of rolling it. So it's like in the spiral, sort of. And you're just gonna put it all on there, close to it, like, because this is a lot of pretzel for not that much dog, you see? I don't know. I'm just going to put it on the end like that, I guess. And sort of like, because it's like a pig in a blanket, so it's not perfect. So, and then just give it a quick little roll in the baking soda water, like that. Let it drip a little bit, transfer it to your sheet. I also line this one with parchment paper because it like catches drippings and you don't spray pan. It's just pretty good all around. So you're just going to do this to your other hot dog pretzel things. I didn't come up with a good name for them. I'll work on that. So you're just going to do that and put your pretzels in the oven. I'm going to do mine for about 9 minutes until they're like golden brown. There it is. It's preheated. So I'm so excited. Let's put them in the oven, finish doing this, and we'll be set. Woo! Okay, so we've got them all rolled up, all 8 of them. Now, you need to take a fork and prick, like, the bottoms and tops of the hot dog, because if you don't, they may explode. No worries. But, it's an important step. I almost forgot it, but I did it. So, just make sure you fork them. What? Make sure you fork them. Forks are very helpful. I mean, you could use a knife or something else other than a fork, but I like forks, okay? Yeah, don't judge me. I use forks for applesauce too. If you use a fork for applesauce out there, tell me in the comments, okay? Because I want to know that I'm not the only one. Okay, so I'm just going to give these a light salting because I'm not sure, like, I want to put that much butter on at the end. But the salt has to stick to the butter, or the dough in this case. So, like, for the ones in the oven right now, those ones will be buttered at the end. That's why we didn't salt them right now. So we're just going to give these a nice crack. And once the oven is free, we're going to put these in. If you could smell this, guys, those pretzels baking smell delicious. If you try this recipe, try to describe in one word, other than delicious, how it smells. Okay, so just set these aside for now, I guess. And then just wait. It's hard, I know. It's hard to wait for these yummies. Just keep an eye on those pretzels in the oven. Make sure they don't burn. You want golden brown. And as soon as they come out, I'll show you what to do. So, you know how I couldn't figure out a name for these pretzel dogs? Well, one of my viewers said, why not Bavarian dogs? I like it because soft pretzels originated in Bavaria, and they're pretzel dogs. So, yeah, makes sense to me. And you'll want to let those pretzels rise for about 10 minutes before you stick them in the oven so they get fluffy, like the normal pretzels. Just tip. Alright, can't wait for these pretzels to be done. So these are fresh out of the oven. They look pretty good. Right now we're going to hit them with some butter and some salt. Look at them, they're nice and golden. The ones on the bottom rack won't be nearly as golden brown, but they still will taste yummy. So right now we got to hit it with some butter. Now you need lots of butter. Okay? So I'm thinking this one's going to be the salt batch. And then the other 6 are going to be my cinnamon sugar. We're just going to like dump like cinnamon sugar on that. So right now, sounds like storm out there, but that's okay. We have our butter. We'll be okay. So just apply lots of butter. I'm getting butter everywhere here, y'all. It's not good. Well, I mean, the butter's good, of course. It's butter. So just butter it up. They're nice and golden looking. I'm so proud. Okay, so we got it all buttered. Now take your sea salt grinder and crack it. Give it a few nice cracks, so you get like salt in every bite. After the butter cools a little bit, you might want to add a little bit more because then you'll be able to see the salt because it won't like stick in with the butter. So that's basically it for these sea salt ones. And I'll show you how to make the cheese sauce in just a minute. But next, let's do the cinnamon sugar ones. Now for the cinnamon sugar ones. We're just going to butter these up also. And, like, lots of butter still. And if you run out, you can always just melt more. I only used 2 tablespoons because I knew I could always add more. And I might need it. But you don't need too much for this because it's just going to be all coated in cinnamon sugar either way. So you're going to probably want to eat these warm. Alright, so I got my cinnamon sugar. And you're just going to like get them like so hard. Get them so hard, yes. Because these are called cinnamon sugar pretzels. And if you can't taste cinnamon sugar, then we need to change the name, okay? So just, like, they look like cinnamon buns almost. Except pretzel-y. Like, fabulous. So, just let them cool and then you can eat them. So, last thing to do is to hit these ones with a little bit of butter just to give it a little bit more flavor because butter makes everything better. I can't say that enough times, guys, because it's never going to stop being true, like, ever. If you try any of these recipes, or all 3, I really want you to tell me, okay? Alright. I'm just using 1.5 tablespoons here of butter. And ta-da! They're all done! Yum! Enjoy these Bavarian dogs. Okay, for the Cheez-Whiz, hold on just 1 sec. I will admit, it is an off-brand that I got, but it's okay. So, all you really need to do is just microwave it when you want to eat your pretzels. I'm not going to eat mine right now, so I'm not going to microwave this right now, but like right before you're ready to eat them, so the cheese is steamy hot. Microwave it. It says, it has instructions on it. It says, for the microwave, transfer it to microwavable bowl. Microwave on high up to 3 minutes or until heated through, stirring every 30 seconds. Note, if heating 1/4 cup or less, microwave at 15-second intervals up to 1 minute. Yep. So, and don't forget to refrigerate after opening. That part's sort of important. I had a bad accident with pizza sauce once. I put it back in the cabinet. Mold. Nasty stuff. So, like and subscribe to my channel. Put a comment down below. Answer all my questions that I ask. Ask any questions you have. And, like, maybe comment on something that you want to learn. What do you want to learn? Faith wants to know. See you next time on Smart and Sassy. Bye! Happy Pretzel Day!